But there's a part of this that sometimes gets a bit more complicated, a little harder to live with every day. We often talk about serving the community as though we have something to give and the community has something to receive from us. It's almost a transactional relationship. We imagine ourselves going out to help, to bless, to make a difference, which is great. I don't want you to hear me say that's bad. But Jeremiah suggests something a bit more mutual than that. God doesn't simply tell the exiles to do good for Babylon. God tells them to build lives with the people of Babylon, to find wives and husbands, to raise children together, to cross cultural boundaries and create a new community, to pray for people they never thought they would be praying for and with. In other words, if they truly open the door to this new community, they can't expect to remain unchanged. They will be affected. Perhaps that's what opening doors always means. Opening the door to our community is not simply about inviting people into our space while everything stays comfortable and the same. Opening the door means allowing ourselves to be changed by the people who walk through it, being impacted, being affected by those who come through that door. It means listening to stories we've never heard before and maybe have never imagined. It means making room for cultures that express joy and grief differently than we do. It means learning from experiences we've never lived and probably never will live ourselves, but knowing the truth in those stories. It means discovering that God's image is reflected in faces that challenge our assumptions and expand our imagination. Opening the door. But that kind of openness can feel risky. Because if we truly listen, we may discover that we need to rethink some things that we have already decided. If we truly welcome, we may find ourselves making room in ways we never intended or maybe didn't want. If we truly build relationships across differences, we may discover that the future God is leading us toward is a whole lot different than the one we planned for ourselves. Every time God opens a new door, someone discovers that God's grace is larger than they imagined. It's one of the reasons this matters so much. And it's something that I think Jeremiah understood long before modern psychologists, modern physicians. The World Health Organization has identified loneliness and social isolation as major threats to human health, to our health. They tell us that meaningful relationships are as important to our well-being as many of the things that we think of as health, trying to get healthy. Isolation increases the risk of depression. It affects our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our communities. Humans were not made to be alone. We were made to be in community. And Jeremiah could have told us that. I actually think he kind of did tell us that. In the welfare of the city, you will find your own. In the well-being of those around you, you will find your own well-being. Our lives are bound together. What happens to our neighbors matter. What happens to the community matters. It's not just good theology, although I think it is good theology. It's also good public health. It's living into who God created us to be.